Hello everyone, it's time again for this week's Unfiltered News from the Reality Zone, where political correctness is not spoken here, compiled by Edward Griffins and his news scouts, Cassandra, Morik, Marmando, and photos and humor scout Joanne Glover, and proofreader is Tom Parker. For this week, June 15th, through the 21st, 2013. And here is this week's comic strip. The Infernal Revenue Service, as I would call it also, IRS. And it shows Frankenstein behind the table. I want a list of each and every angry villager. That's pretty good. Okay, here we go. For this week, headlines that you may have missed. NSA and the Art of Lying. Here is an overview of the incredible lies told by the officials from the NSA and the FBI. These lies were told to a congressional committee investigating the extent to which the NSA has been illegally monitoring the emails and phone calls of millions of American citizens. Reality Zone, June 21st. And they have. It's just criminal what they're doing. It's amazing how it works too. All they have to do is send bots out. And these are like keyword lookers. It's a algorithm that they send out that looks for certain words. And when you say a certain word, say nuclear attack, chemical warfare, anything on the telephone or on your computer when you're typing, it automatically lights up a light on a panel where they have an agent sitting there waiting for it, and then they pick up a microphone or earphone actually and listen in and take notes and record it. And it goes into the data system. That's how that works. It's criminal that they're doing this. And Snowden was a hero for bringing up that they've been doing this. Actually, they've been doing it for 50 years, since Echelon. But that's beside the point, isn't it now? Now it's even higher tech that they're using. Alright, let's go on to the next article. A bureaucrat in Murray County, Tennessee, warned an audience that unfounded complaints about water quality could be considered an act of terrorism under the federal laws enforced by the Department of Fatherland or Homeland Security. The comment was a veiled threat against local residents who are concerned over their water supply. Taken to its logical extension, if you complain about anything related to the government policy or service, your complaint will be classified as unfounded, and you will be threatened or treated as a terrorist. That's right, it's now terrorism to complain. It makes you mad, doesn't it? InfoWars, June 21st, 2013. Let's move on here. Alrighty. U.S. New document reveals that despite Obama's claim that the government is not monitoring phone calls or emails of average citizens, the NSA is doing exactly that. The process is authorized by an obscure certificate that replaces court warrants. The Hill, June 21st. They're just pencil whipping around the Constitution all the time, aren't they? It's just unreal. Next, a video. The Government Accountability Office reports that preparations for the launch of Obamacare are running far behind schedule and that information about the true cost is being withheld from the public. The expectation is that the system will collapse before it even gets started. WSJ, June 20th. They're going broke, and they just don't tell you that. And also, Canada passed a law that makes it illegal for protesters to wear masks or in any way to conceal their identity. The penalty is 10 years in prison. Story leak, June 20th. Think about that. You can't even wear a mask, but the police can. Goose and gander, always. It's always about goose and gander. What's good for the goose isn't good for the gander. Alrighty, video. New York, 2 men attempted to build an X-ray gun to shoot at civilians who are enemies of Israel. You know, the lilies, hoping the X-rays would cause cancer. Once again, we learned that the FBI encouraged and assisted them at every step. The all-too-familiar scenario ended with the government finally arresting the men and boasting that it foiled another terrorist plot. Our jobs are secured now. We're doing work, see? Even if we have to make it up. It almost reminds me of a guy going out and committing the crimes for a newspaper so he can write about them. It's the same. It's on the same scale. MSNBC, June 20th. It's amazing, isn't it? With a question mark the size of a building. All right, in Pavilion, Wyoming, Pavilion, that's it, Wyoming. Preliminary reports from the EPA indicate that groundwater likely was contaminated by chemicals used to frack oil and gas wells. Huh, imagine that. Gasland comes to mind. This brought strong objections from the oil and gas industry, of course. In response to the EPA has dropped its investigation and turned it over to the state of Wyoming, which is known to be favorable to the interest of the oil industry. It is expected that the Wyoming investigation will state that fracking did not contaminate the groundwater. You did. I mean, really, it is nuts. Ritter, June 20th. It's almost really laughable when you start thinking about what they have been doing. It's really, really laughable. Let me move this up here. Video. UK banks are struggling to find $42 billion that regulators say they must have as reserves to back up the money they have loaned into existence. Really? I thought they just printed it out of thin air and then distributed it. This is an increase from 2% to 7%, which still is pitifully small, but which the banks do not have. The question to be answered is how the government will authorize them to steal this money from taxpayers through bailouts or depositors through bail-ins. Or bellions, I guess. Russia Today, June 20th. It's funny. I mean, it gets funnier and funnier every time it get into this. It's outrageous. Everybody should be up in arms. Red flags should be flying everywhere. People should be on the streets marching. I mean, but they're not. They just go along with it. It's okay. They're robbing me. They're the government and the banksters, Yeah, well. Video. U.S. Eric Holder is facing growing pressure from Congress to resign. Should be in jail is where he should be. Actually in Leavenworth. Almost every day new evidence comes to light regarding Holder's disrespect for truth, law, and the Constitution. The latest outrage is his misrepresentation of the facts to a judge to obtain a warrant against journalist James Rosen. There are 122 congressmen asking for his resignation. You will love the Fox reporters burst into indignation at the end of this report. It's even making MSM mad, and the mainstream media is getting mad about all this. They're not covering anymore. Fox News, June 20th. Next. U.S. The IRS plans to pay $70 million in bonuses that were negotiated through the Public Employees Union. A White House directive canceled all bonuses during the sequestration, but they were renegotiated. Imagine that. Human Events, June 19th. This is just getting criminal. You know we have a rogue government when this type of crap is continuing to go on. It's just they're being blackmailed. I'm sure of it. The NSA has crap on everyone in Congress and the Senate. And they're going along with whatever they're told to go along with. They may stand up and say, I don't agree with this, and then sign the bill that will make it possible. It's just unreal. You know that we need to replace them all. If they have crap on them and they're continuing to do what they're doing, then they're not fit to be in their office. Next. Video. Turkey is using chemical-laced water cannons on protesters. Those who have been sprayed have developed skin rashes and other symptoms. Critics say that this is a chemical weapon. And it is. Russia Today, June 19th. Next. U.S. FBI Director Robert Mueller admitted to Congress that his agency has used drone surveillance on Americans. But don't worry. He said the program is small. Really? How small? Give me numbers of how many drones. Russia Today, June 19th. I mean, really? You wonder why I'm laughing? I'm laughing out of not ranting. That's why I'm laughing. Because I don't want to rant on this. Alzheimer's and dementia patients who consume as little as 1 gram of turmeric a day, that's right, 1 gram of the spice a day for 3 months can experience remarkable improvements. Natural News, June 19th. There you go. Anyone who's developing Alzheimer's, start doing this. Even though the basphosphate, it's in Roundup, is causing it, you can counteract it, I guess, with turmeric. It will cleanse that out, neutralize it, apparently. Next, video. Japan. Radiation from the triple meltdown, China syndrome, in Fukushima has not yet been fully contained. No, the groundwater is just strontium, a nuclear byproduct, has been found at 30 times the legally safe limit. It appears that the leaks in the reactors are continuing to pollute the groundwater and the ocean, of course, the Pacific. Don't eat seafood anymore from the Pacific. Anything. It's contaminated. InfoWars, June 19th. And that came out through the Fukushima report and other reports from Japan. Video. Department of Homeland Security whistleblower and her filmmaker husband have been the target of malicious harassment by the IRS. Of course, because the IRS is now a mafia arm. It's the guys that go out there and saying, "Hey, Benny here is going to break your legs if you don't pay pay up the insurance on this place, the protection insurance." That's about what the IRS is, a mafia arm of the protection agency. On numerous occasions, they have been awarded settlements by the courts only to have the money immediately confiscated from their bank accounts by the IRS. They're robbing them. They're getting these court cases now, and now they're robbing the people of the very money they win. Oh man. FDN, June 18th. Do you understand? We have criminal alphabets within the government. The federal government of Washington District of Criminals is taken over. Former employees say Bank of America told them to lie to homeowners. That's right, told them to lie to the homeowners. They also say that the bank awarded employees who put homes in foreclosure the week, June 18th. See how that's working? Criminals, I'm telling you. Criminal elements in everything. The government starts it and everyone follows suit. They're saying, well, if the government can get away with it, I'm going to get away with it. And they are. Turning everyone into a criminal. Man. Through default. Yes, through default. It's no more morals in the U.S. Morality is gone. Man. It's like, screw them before they screw me type deal. Oh man. Next, the ecosystem and food supply are threatened by the gross underestimate of the toxicity of neonicotinoid pesticides. A single grain of wheat or canola treated with these pesticides can be fatal to a bird. Imagine what it's doing to a human. Nicotinoids are the chief suspect in the ongoing bee die-off disaster, like the one in Florida, 50,000 bees found dead. Mercola, June 18th. I'm telling you, the poisoning of us and everything. These people are being controlled by something. I call them the archons, because they feed off the misery of human beings. That's their food, don't you know? Oh, man. Video. Rand Paul challenges the claim by NSA Director General Keith Alexander that the NSA's domestic spying program has prevented 50 terrorist attacks. What? The ones that the FBI create and then say, look, we caught the terrorists. We're doing our jobs. We have job security. Paul says that all the plots could have been foiled using traditional methods that are consistent with preserving the privacy of American citizens. And he's right. But I see the alphabets are creating, the problem reaction solution deal. This is for job security. CNN, June 17th. Next, Milwaukee County Sheriff David Clark recorded a radio spot asking people to arm themselves for protection. After the recording went viral on the internet, the county commissioner banned him from making public service announcements ever again, basically. Ammo land. June 17th. He comes out and tells the people you should arm yourself. Basically, don't call 911. It'll take 20 minutes to get there. By then, in 2 minutes, a criminal can kill you or do what he wants. Makes you mad, doesn't it? I got the nervous laughters today because I don't want to rant. I don't want to go off and say, these criminals, they should be prosecuted, imprisoned, or worse. Okay, that's my little rant. Illinois passed a law requiring gas and oil hydraulic fracking drillers to disclose their secret chemicals and to test groundwater before and after for contamination. If the water is found to be contaminated, the drillers will be held liable. It's about time. Really, it's really about time. It should go to all 50 states, or the 51st one if you include Israel. Now, about time. Now, if they, I think that's supposed to be an if they will only require that those who do the testing are independent of the drillers. AP, June 17th. And that's true. It should be independent researchers, people who are on the America's side of the Constitution should be doing these tests. Not the companies themselves like Monsanto, who does his own testing saying, look, this stuff is harmless. The rats didn't get tumors or anything after 90 days. Oh, but the French did a test 180 days, and guess what? Tumors, organ failure, cancers. Oh yeah, Monsanto, you're a joke. Should be banned. Shouldn't even exist. GMO is an unnatural. Nature doesn't produce it, then it's not good for you. Period. Next video: Western intervention in the Syrian conflict took center stage at the G8 meetings in Northern Ireland when Russia's President Putin asked UK Prime Minister Cameron why he wants to arm rebels who literally engage in cannibalism. OKCTS 9, June 17th. Yeah, they're eating hearts and kidneys and all types of nasty things. Lungs. I mean, these mercenaries are getting out of hand. They really hired a bunch of thugs. I'll tell you what. Putin's right. He's the only grown-up in the whole bunch. Really. Russia is looking like the grown-up with a bunch of kids running around playing all types of nasty games. Next, toxic shock. California allows up to 1,000 times more glyphosate, the poison, in drinking water than needed to cause breast cancer in women. Glyphosate is the active ingredient in Monsanto's Roundup Ready herbicide. Natural News, June 17th. See, I told you about this. This stuff here is deadly. They're making it so it's 4,000 times more over the legal dosage. Now, they're just now starting to do that. They're saying, well, we could just drench the plants in it daily, and you'll eat it up. Yum. Crazy, Satan crazy. Next, U.S. House of Representatives passed a ban on drone strikes by the Defense Department against U.S. citizens, except those who are actively engaged in combat against the United States. That's you, the people. Lawmakers were careful to define what a drone is, but failed to define active combat against the people of the United States. That sounds clear to most citizens, but a clever lawyer could easily stretch the definition to fit a wide variety of activities. Also, the law says nothing about killing Americans by other agencies, such as the CIA. and government loopholes have become a science. And it has. Activist post, June 16th. See what I mean? Oh, not paying attention if you don't. You're being attacked. You're being attacked by what is it? Quiet weapons for silent wars. That's exactly what it is. William Cooper knew what he was talking about when that paper they found in a copying machine was talking about. Quiet weapons for silent wars. Man, they're doing it. They're doing it to us. And we're putting up with it for some reason. South Africa. Muslim Lawyer Association calls for Obama's arrest for war crimes during his visit next week. Oh, great. I think Obama will be canceling a visit somewhere. They are objecting to his killer drone program that targets Muslims. Washington Times, June 16th. Yeah, I guess he'll be canceling that real talk. They'll send some representative instead. Fracking, which uses massive amounts of water, is causing an increase in the cost of water in the drought-prone western U.S. Farmers are facing competition from fractors who easily are able to outbid them. In the near future, this will be another important upward pressure on the cost of food in America. It's going to starve us to death. Remember, quiet wars. Or, where is it? Quiet weapons and silent wars. Yes, AP, June 16th. Actually, take that, reverse it, and that's what it is. Silent wars or quiet weapons or silent wars. That's right. Whistleblower Edward Snowden has been disclosed new documents showing that in 2009 the British government set up phony internet cafes to intercept emails and phone calls of delegates from foreign nations at the G20 conference. This same government is hosting a G8 conference in Northern Ireland. AFP, June 16th. Next, New Jersey. The entire Hackensack City Council was voted out after using eminent domain to seize private property that the owner wanted to develop. A grassroots organization called Citizens for Change won every seat in the election after organizing an anti-corruption campaign. Good job. This shows what can be done when citizens get organized and take action. See, we don't have to pick up arms. We can do this stuff without raising a sword. The pen is mightier than the sword. Why fight City Hall when you can become City Hall? Institute for Justice voted June 15th. This is wonderful. I wish this was going on all across the country. In every seat. We can take back our country if we become the government of that country. The common man. Not these politician bureaucrats who are taking bribes from all these people that come in there and give them money and then they owe them favors. The lobbyist. Anyways, Iceland has halted progression towards joining the EU. Good for Iceland. The majority of Icelanders now want no part of the EU, and their leaders are compelled to bow to this sentiment. Iceland allowed its banks to fail and now is enjoying economic growth while economically distressed countries in the EU continue to suffer. it is hard to argue with success. Quartz, posted June 15th. This is what we have to do in America. We got to get out of the banksters, out of the corporate fascism that's taken over. We got to put real people in government to do real things. Here's the analysis for this week. And they're mostly videos. Video, How to Train Fleas, is an interview with educator John Taylor Gatto. See how it is possible for schools to break the spirit of independence and convert children into passive creatures who blindly follow orders and measure their own worth by how much they support the group to which they have been assigned. Tragedy and Hope, June 20th. How to Train Fleas. Shoot, the school, all they do now is analyze and make you basically just parrot everything that they tell you. Schools are not what they used to be long, long ago in the 1800s. They're now psychiatrist teachers trying to see if they can get the children on Prozac or Ritalin. This is what they're up to. So the pharmaceutical companies can make a bundle, of course. Next, video. You have nothing to fear if you have nothing to hide, right? When it comes to amassing personal data of all citizens into a central database with access by thousands of government employees and contractors, plus a fair number of criminal hackers from the outside, you know instinctively that this is a stupid statement. Here's a short video that explains it all. The Covert Report, of course, June 19th. It's stupid. Anyone that says that is an idiot. It says, if I have nothing to fear, if you have nothing to hide, I have nothing to hide, so let the NSA spy on me. No, you don't understand what they're doing with that information. They can prosecute you with it. They can take what you said on a phone or on a computer and manipulate it using software that they can say that you blew up a building that they blew up, and they'll take you away for it. Don't you understand the technology? You're apparently not paying attention to today's technology, what they can do with information. Video. The man who does this newsletter, G. Edward Griffin, explains the difference between individualism and collectivism and how collectivist ideals have been accepted worldwide. Many topics are covered, including why collectivism leads to tyranny and why predator class is attracted to government employment, how war and fear are used to push people into giving up their freedom, and why modern banking is the engine of political corruption. Another article by Tragedy and Hope, June 12th. Tragedy and Hope magazine. Alright, the last two articles of this week. Video. James Colbert compares the words of Andy Griffin in a TV show 50 years ago with the words of President Obama about 50 hours ago. The words relate to respect for privacy and due process. You will not like the comparison. The Colbert Report, June 12th, and you won't. You won't like it at all. You know Obama's a criminal. He's a mafian from Chicago. That's what he is. That's what the government's become. It's government mafia. There's a book that was written several years ago called that, where it compares the government to the mafia and shows you how the alphabets are basically branches of the mafia. You got to look that book up. You got to know what your enemy is. Okay, last but not least, video. The War on Health is a documentary showing how the FDA caters to the pharmaceutical industry. 40% of the industry is funded by Big Pharma. Pharmaceutical drugs are the #1 cause of death in the U.S., and half of the drugs with the FDA approval are recalled within 5 years because they are killers. But the money just keeps rolling in. Gary Null, June 10th. This is what's going on, people. You got to understand the pharmaceutical company is not your friend in a healthy thing. You can cure yourself with natural cures. You don't need the pharmaceuticals at all. Believe me that. Pennies to thousands. That's what it comes to. Here's the great photos for this week. Strange creature indeed. Click to enlarge. A bag of the catch is peeping over. It was a catch. That is really a catch. Unbelievable catch. That's a rare picture. That's a collector's item. I'm going to collect that after I'm done here. I'm going to put it in my photo album at my computer. That is unreal. You got the humor for this week, and then you got your this week's It Can't Happen Here by Larkin Rose, the unfiltered form. And then look on the right side, you got all the books. On the left side, you've got all the books by J. Edward Griffin. Please support J. Edward Griffin. He does a wonderful job of finding headlines that you may have missed this week. I will have a link to all this at the bottom of the video and under the description. And enjoy. Please enjoy. Until next time. This is Spellbinder saying, have a wonderful weekend. Today's Saturday. I didn't do it last night because I did another article on supposedly a hit piece on Alex Jones, which I went through and explained what he was actually saying and not what this guy was taking out of context and putting up there. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, I wonder about some of the stuff they said, but others I don't. Until next time, be good or be good at it. Good day.